Should Luzon be bracing itself for more strong earthquakes? Let's get the answers from PHIVOLCS Director Renato Solidum. He's joining us live via Zoom. Sir, good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, so far, how many aftershocks have already been recorded?
As of 7 p.m. tonight, we had 343 aftershocks recorded, and the highest magnitude aftershock was magnitude 5.4, which occurred at 3:38 this afternoon.
Dr. Solidum, is there anything peculiar about this particular quake? And for that matter, beyond the size, the magnitude of the earthquake itself, what can you tell us about the areas, the region, the provinces that it hit in terms of its soil, in terms of its ground? Is there anything there that is an aggravating factor to the impact of this earthquake?
Well, essentially, the magnitude was 7. It caused strong shaking, at least intensity 7, in the province of Abra. And since this is mountainous, we would see a lot of landslides that have occurred, aside from the damages to houses and buildings. On the coastal areas like Vigan, as we know, Vigan is a city, as well as the other towns of Ilocos Sur, that have been settled upon sandy deposits, and these are usually with a lot of water, and during a strong ground shaking, the shaking will be amplified. And that is why, even though Vigan is a little bit away from the epicenter, the shaking was still strong. And we have seen the damages to many of the historical churches. These are not really reinforced, so the damages are a consequence of the strong shaking, plus, of course, the softer foundation.
Okay, sir, we've seen some videos from netizens posted on social media earlier showing big waves on coastal areas, but you mentioned that these are not considered a tsunami. So as of now, do we see any tsunami threat on those coastal areas?
Well, what happened this morning was that there was sea-water oscillation. If you imagine the edge of La Union and Ilocos Sur, when the shaking happened, it would also push the water on the side. So there would be unusual waters going back and forth in the area, and some of these can enter the river mouth. A tsunami is really a wave that would be due to the uplift of the ocean floor, underwater landslide, or a volcanic eruption. And usually water oscillation would not be life-threatening. The waves are not that tall, but these were unusual.
Okay, so Dr. Solidum, in the meantime po, and in the coming days, what's the advice for both residents as well as people who may be considering going to the area? What is safe? What is advisable?
Well, as long as you are in an open area, you're okay, but you have to avoid steep slopes because there can be a landslide. What needs to be done is for the local government to inspect houses and buildings to make sure that these are really strong and will not suffer from continued and increased damage, because these houses that are still standing might further be damaged or collapsed even by aftershocks. And aftershocks can be maybe 1 unit of magnitude lower than magnitude 7, close to 6. We typically would observe many aftershocks in the first 2 or 3 days. These would taper off, but typically it will still last long. But the interval between aftershocks can be far in between. But crucial will be the first 2 to 3 days.
Okay, maraming salamat po, PHIVOLCS Director Renato Solidum.